I thought my grandfather left me everything, until I found a secret will proving my father and Fiancé had stolen it all. Then I found his will and realized my Fiancé wasn't the only one betraying me. My own father had been stealing my inheritance for years. The leather of grandfather's office chair still smelled like his cologne as I sat at his desk, sorting through decades of paperwork. It had been 3 days since we buried him, and my father had wasted no time assigning me to clear out the old man's junk while he handled the important matters of the estate. Emma, how's it coming along? Mark, my fiancé of 2 years, leaned against the doorframe, his designer watch glinting in the afternoon light. Your dad needs the office emptied by tomorrow. Of course he does, I muttered, reaching for another folder. Heaven forbid we take time to properly sort through grandfather's life. Mark approached, massaging my shoulders. Your dad's just time to move forward. Grief manifests differently for everyone. I nodded absently, pulling open the bottom drawer of the desk. That's when I saw it, a leather portfolio with final arrangements embossed in gold letters. Imply was a document dated just 6 months ago. What's that? Mark's hands froze on my shoulders. It looks like grandfather's will, I said, scanning the pages. But this is different from what dad showed us yesterday. As I read further, the room seemed to tilt. According to this document, I wasn't just inheriting the small trust fund my father had mentioned. I was the primary beneficiary of my grandfather's entire estate, including controlling interest in Freeman Enterprises. That can't be right, Mark said, his voice oddly tight. Your father said the company was left to him. I flipped to the final page where a note was written in my grandfather's familiar scrawl. Emma, if you are reading this, something has gone wrong. Check the Cayman account statements. Trust no one, not even family. Tucked behind the will were bank statements showing systematic withdrawals, millions siphoned off over the past decade. Each transfer had been authorized by one person, my father. I need to call our family lawyer, I said, reaching for my phone. Mark snatched it from my hand. Let's not be hasty. Your father deserves a chance to explain before you make accusations. Something in his tone made me look up. The concern in his eyes wasn't for me, it was panic. You knew? The question fell from my lips like a stone. Emma, it's complicated, family businesses always did, you know? Each word felt like glass in my throat. Mark's silence was answer enough. I stood clutching the documents to my chest. I need some air. It didn't try to stop me as I walked out, but as I reached the hallway, I heard Mark's hushed voice from the office. She found it. No, the original will. Yes, she knows about the accounts too. Don't worry, I'll handle her. My father's voice replied, too faint to make out the words, but I'd heard enough. The two men I trusted most had been conspiring behind my back, stealing what was rightfully mine. I slipped out the side door, the weight of betrayal pressing on my chest. Everything I thought I knew, my future, my family and my relationship, had just crumbled beneath my feet, but something else was rising from the ashes. Determination. If they thought Emma Freeman would quietly accept their betrayal, they were about to learn how wrong they were. The coffee shop 3 towns over felt like the safest place to examine the documents I'd stolen from grandfather's office. No chance of running into family or their associates here. Need a refill? The barista gestured at my empty cup. Please. I pushed it toward her, then went back to spreading papers across the small table. I'd spent 2 days secretly copying everything in grandfather's hidden safe after finding a key taped beneath his desk drawer. What emerged was a meticulous record of theft. Month after month, year after year, my father had been transferring funds from grandfather's accounts to shell companies with innocuous names. Sunbright Holdings, Adger Investment Group, Meridian Partners. I pulled up the corporate registries on my laptop. All 3 companies traced back to one person, Daniel Freeman, my father. Hey, that looks intense. The voice startled me. I looked up to see the barista setting down a fresh coffee. Sorry, I wasn't snooping. Just noticed all the paperwork. It's fine, I said, attempting a smile. Just untangling some family business.